welcome to the first episode of the Comfy Pants Cooking Show. I'm your host, Rick. I'm joined by my lifelong partner in crime, my wife, Kitty.
Hi, everyone.
We're cozied up in sweet isolation in an Airbnb overlooking Budapest, Hungary, and thought, what a perfect time to cook up some Hungarian classics. So grab your favorite Hungarian chips, your favorite Hungarian beer, be sure to sanitize your workstation, and let's jump right in. Today we're making a classic and delicious Hungarian dessert, Palacsinta. These are a fluffy Hungarian version of pancakes or crepes. We're going to start by making our batter with 200 grams of all-purpose flour. And then remember that we are making a double batch, so make that 400 grams. Then in a separate bowl, we're going to crack 2 eggs. Remember that double batch thing again and make that 4 eggs. Spoon out that shell that made it in there, and good. Remember to wash those hands. And now we're going to lightly salt those eggs, and since we are not afforded the luxury of an electric mixer, we're going to be using our trusty wire whisk to beat these bad boys until thoroughly scrambled. Grab our flour and 600 milliliters of milk and slowly mix those together a little bit at a time. By the way, you probably noticed I'm using the metric measurements here. If that gives you any trouble, feel free to use Google or your wife to convert those. Give the bowl a little spin move for style. This process is going to take a few minutes, just getting everything mixed together. And here's the consistency that you're looking for. Now here's where the fluffy part comes in. This sparkling water helps add bubbles to the batter, batter bubbles, making it light and fluffy. Gently mix that in, and if the consistency is a little too thin, just add in a bit more flour to thicken it up. Now we're going to take that over to the fridge and let it chill while we work on the delicious filling for these. We're going to start with 2 large dollops of sour cream and 6 heaping spoonfuls of powdered sugar. Now these vanilla packets are very common here in Hungary, but I'm sure any vanilla extract or flavoring could be used. We're going to mix those up until we realize that it's way too dry and we forgot about the double batch thing. So we're going to add in 2 more dollops of sour cream. The next thing we're going to add in is the turo. Now that's loosely translated to cottage cheese, though it really has nothing in common with the watery, squeaky substance that we call cottage cheese in the States. This Hungarian version is a fresh, semi-soft curd cheese similar to farmer's cheese or quark, and it fits in great in sweet and savory applications. We're going to mix that all together until we get a nice smooth blend, and then we're going to add this powder, which is actually a vanilla pudding mix, and I think we put in a lot more than the recipe called for, but it totally worked in the end. Let's give that one more good mix until the texture is smooth and consistent. Make sure to wash your lemon before zesting that whole thing into the mix, giving it a bitter acid component to combat all the sweet, rich, and creamy flavors. Let's mix all of this goodness together and add in a little bit of milk if it's feeling a little too thick. Give it a taste, and the verdict is, needs more sugar.
Never too much, never too much, never too much.
Give that one more mixaroo and one more taste. And approved, it's a winner. This filling now just needs something to fill, so let's pull out our Palacsinta batter from the fridge and fire up the stovetop. You'll want to get a good medium-high heat going, and I highly recommend you get one of these crepe pans, which is circular with low edges. A good bit of oil in there to make sure the batter doesn't stick, and ladle in enough batter to swirl around and cover the surface area of the pan. As Kitty's mom would say, let them cook until you think they're about to burn, and then let them go a little longer. When we're starting to see the browning around the edges, use an offset spatula or a large knife in a pinch and loosen up the edges of the Palacsinta until you can spin it around in the pan freely. Here comes the hardest part, the flip. Here we go. Oh, that feels great. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for America's next favorite game show, Can Rick Nail the Flip? Going for his second attempt, and it's a success! Showing great form and looking confident as he gears up for his third attempt. And he nails the flip, making it look so easy for the rest of us. Always time for a little bit of sugar during halftime, am I right? All right, on his fourth attempt. A great success. He's on a roll here, ladies and gentlemen, batting 1,000. Attempt number 5 is good. Number 6. And he has a little trouble there, but we'll give him the points, barely. Attempt number 7. Let's go back to the screens. Ooh, little trouble there. Ooh, not quite. Attempt number 8. Oh, no dice. Unfortunately, it looks like Rick is losing his rhythm at the end of the game. But he comes back with another strong flip, and on his final attempt, beautiful, making it look effortless. Let's take a look at the final score, ladies and gentlemen. 8 out of 10, a solid B- performance. After another minute on the flip side, we're gonna take those over to a stack on a plate, and we're gonna start our filling process. We're doing 3 flavors here. The first is that turo that we made earlier. The second uses this delicious Hungarian marmalade jam as a single filling, and we're gonna roll that up the same way. The third has a secret ingredient that I'm gonna tell you right now. Nesquik powder, straight from the back of the pantry. You'd think that this would make a dry crepe or a dry Palacsinta, but it's actually quite nice. We're gonna finish off the plating with a dusting of powdered sugar and the quarantine beverage of your choice. Let's take a look at those tasting reactions. Is it good? Oh yeah, get it. You have to say, thanks for watching the Comfy Pants Cooking Show. No, you have to say that.